you'll look at these, and some of them don't look so bad, right? First few, not so bad. But as you move further, you get to see some stuff that looks a little bit more challenging. Like, for instance, the tangent of 11 pi over 4. Anybody know what that is? Anybody else? Well, you could probably figure that out, though, right? How could we figure this out? Look at something with you. Give it Okay, this is true. We can do it that way. You can change it to degrees, but it's still not going to be on a unit circle, right? Okay. So rather than minus or add 360, though, what could we minus or add? What were we going to say?
2y?
Yeah. So just like this one, we've seen something kind of like this before, right? This we wouldn't know. You could do minus 90, or you could add 360 to this, right? And then it would become the tangent of what, 290? Okay. So you can find that. We do a similar thing here, except since this is in radians instead of degrees, we're not going to add 360, we're going to add 2 pi. Because 2 pi is, or sorry, not add in this case. That one was adding, but this one we're going to be subtracting because we want to get it to be lower. We're going to subtract 2 pi because that's one whole way around the circle, right? Yeah, 270, sorry. So we're going to be subtracting 2 pi because that's all the way around the circle. These are called coterminal angles. So we found the coterminal angle, one that's on the circle. We do the same thing here. Except when it's in radians, we have to add or subtract 2 pi. If we're going to go about doing this, what do we need to do? How are we going to do that? Yeah, you think? Right, so we can't just combine these as is. This has like an invisible denominator of 1. To add or subtract fractions in the same denominator. So how we do this then is we multiply by whatever this denominator is. This is 4. So we're going to do 2 pi times 4 over 4. I'm going to just rewrite it below here. Make this 11 pi over 4. Same. Minus, this becomes 8 pi over 4. So I just multiplied 2 pi times whatever that denominator is over itself. Because 8 pi over 4 is the same thing as saying 2 pi. Now I can combine these together because I've got the same denominator. So then we just do 11 minus 8, which is 3, keep the pi, and the denominator stays the same as well. So it's 3 pi over 4. And now I'm just going to find the tangent of 3 pi over 4. So that's going to be the same thing. This has just gone around the circle once and then came back around. So then we need to think 3 pi over 4. And again, if you want to use unit circle for this, it's okay. Some of these will be kind of challenging, so save you a little time. But 3 pi over 4 on the unit circle is right here. The tangent is the y over the x. So that becomes radical 2 over 2 over negative radical 2 over 2. And those are the same, so we end up with just negative 1. All that, and we get negative 1. So this is kind of a theme throughout these problems. We're going to go through and do several of them, so you get the hang of it. But basically, in all of these where it's not a value on your unit circle, you're going to add or subtract numbers so it does become a value on your unit circle. So this one, for instance, is negative. That's not on a unit circle, right? But we can add 2 pi to this. And you can probably do this conversion in your head. We're going to multiply it by 3, okay? So it's going to be something over 3. How many pi over 3? Yeah.
6.
Yeah, 6 pi over 3. what we're doing is we're just multiplying 2 pi times 3 over 3. That gives us 6 pi. It's the same thing. 2 pi is the same thing as 6 pi over 3. In this case, we used 8 pi over 4 because that one was a 4, this one's a 3. So we just basically double it. So then we have negative 5 plus 6, which is 1. So we have 1 pi, or just pi, over 3. And then we can do the sine of pi over 3. Think about where that pi over 3 is. It's right up here. The sine is the y-coordinate. So the y-coordinate up there is radical 3 over 2. Let's see. Do a couple more together just to get the hang of it. This one's a different one. This is, it's still thirds. Let's try. Do this one here. Sine of 15 pi over 6. So we're going to be adding and subtracting. Yeah, because this is more than 2 pi, right? 15 pi over 6. That's not a number that we have. So we want to subtract 2 pi. And we're going to be multiplying by this denominator. So minus something over 6. 2 pi times 6, so that's 12 pi. So then it's just 15 minus 12, right? Which is 3. So 3 pi over 6. And actually, this one can even be simplified. What's that the same thing as? So then this just becomes the sine of pi over 2. So we've got pi over 2 is at the very top. Sine is the y-coordinate. So it's just 1. What's another one you guys pick one? Pick one or two. Q, alright. Cosecant of negative 17 pi over 6. Alright. So this one we're going to be adding, right? Because this is negative, we need to get that to be a positive. So we're going to add 6. And we're going to multiply 2 pi times 6 to get it, right? So 12 pi over 6. So we'll add to it. So we have to do negative 17 plus 12. What's negative 17 plus 12? Yep, we'll write it here. Negative 5 pi over 6. But we still haven't got a good number yet, right? Still not on the inner circle. So we just do it again. Add 12 pi over 6. Negative 5 plus 12. Yep, 7. 7 pi over 6. Alright, that is the inner circle value. Now we do the cosecant. 7 pi over 6. Seven pi over 6. That's right after pi. It's right here. And the cosecant goes with the sine, so it's 1 over the y value. 1 over, and the y is negative a half. 1 over negative a half. We can flip this, just becomes 2. Trying to get the hang of it. Let's do one more, and let's do one in this row. So at least we've done one in every row. Oh, all right. Yeah. So we got a big number up there. So we definitely want to subtract something over 6. And it's going to be 12 pi over 6. Right? 31 minus 12. What's 19. 19 pi over 6. Not good yet, still right? So let's do it again. 19 pi over 6 minus 12. Pi over 6. Then we get 7, right? 19 minus 12 is 7. So now we can do the cosecant. And if you actually look, it's exactly the same as this one. Let's see what's on 5 or 6. We just did. Alright. So you guys got the rest of the period to work on that. Ask me if you need some help with any of those. And this is homework if you don't get it finished. Use your unit circle. Ask me, ask a friend. Need some help. On M, just to know on M, for whatever reason they just throw this as a fraction. But what's 12 pi over 6 the same as? Yeah, so it's actually just the cotangent of 2 pi. That yeah. So this one you can add, yeah. Yeah. Oh, this one you want to add. Tell me to.